And I just love your passion for really wanting and helping people take control of their health. This is really something in common that we share between the whole journey and Food Matters, is that we want people to have this fierce independence, to reduce their reliance on the medical system, to reduce their reliance on the so-called healthcare system. And one of the areas of expertise that you've really dived into, and you're a great teacher on this topic, thank you, is the gut. And we're going to be speaking about that today. First question: why does the gut play such an important and integral role in the way that we look and feel? Because it's this inside, lower down organ. It's not our face, it's not our chest, it's not our legs, but why does it play such an important role in our overall look and how we feel? Please explain it.
Oh, well, it is everything. And I know you know Hippocrates, the father of natural medicine, 5,000 years ago, he says all disease begins in the gut. And when you say it's not our face, it's not our chest, it's like we see health, right? We look at traditional Chinese medicine, we look at health, we see it on the skin, we see it in the tongue, on the face, we see it in how it's presenting or how it's not presenting. And, I learned a long time ago the hard way with my own personal health that gut health is everything. I mean, nervous system health, I think, is the true foundation. But now we look at our society, and then gut health comes immediately after that, where all disease begins in the gut, all health begins, can spring from the gut. And I love how you had everyone write down, the symptoms and also how their life would look if they didn't have gut issues. But, having worked with now tens of thousands of people on this, whatever you all wrote down in terms of like how your life could be better, I guarantee there's 10 more levels to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the gut is omnipresent to health and vitality. And when our gut is really healthy and thriving, so is our thyroid, so are our adrenals, so is our immune system. And then we feel different. We make completely different decisions with what to do with our life force. So it really is such a powerful topic, and we digest everything, right? And so we're eating, we've got to eat 3, 5, 6 times a day. Some people are only eating a few times a day, but we're digesting that food and we're taking the nutrients. It's not what we eat, it's what we absorb that moves the needle on our health, the nutrients and or the toxins, whatever it is we're consuming, and that's what we're building our existence upon. So
Wow. You touched on a few really big points there, and I don't want people to miss this. One was about Hippocrates. There's also some famous natural medicine doctors that say death begins in the colon. I remember, this statement, and how, especially in the gut and in the colon, we can accumulate a lot of impacted fecal matter. We can have, through poor digestion, not having enough fiber. Can you explain briefly just how our digestive system works to give people a little bit? I know that you dive deeper into this in the certification program, but give a little bit of anatomy, because you study a lot of anatomy. I have, many people have, but most people don't. What happens when we eat food, and then how is it that our microbiome then is so linked to our overall immunity?
yeah. So, okay. Well, digestion begins in the mouth, and I know that we talked about this. We've covered in the course. You start releasing digestive enzymes, amylase, which digest carbohydrates in the mouth, which is why it is so important to eat first of all in a calm state. You don't want to eat when you're angry or you're upset. And I know that we talked about this, but to eat in a calm state and really take in the presence of having a meal. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it actually taste like? And I think that's definitely in the West is a huge problem where we eat so fast, our mind's on other things. Sometimes we can't even remember, did I eat or did I not, right? Or we're
Yeah.
eating in the car. So, you start the digestive process in the mouth. And so chewing your food, swallowing your food. And this is, again, if you're stressed, you're not going to produce, enough amylase, but you're also going to suppress hydrochloric acid, because then we're going to go into the stomach and we have to digest meat, right? We need hydrochloric acid to digest meat, especially beef. And so many of us, especially over age 30, but now since the onset of genetically modified organisms, since the onset of so many antibiotics, we have suppressed HCl,
Mm.
and we're not able to actually pull the vitamin B12 out of the meat that goes feeds our brain directly. And then, we're absorbing all the nutrients in our small intestine before the food is then going to be released, go to the colon, and we excrete our waste. And this is where the magic happens or not, because you've got microvilli in the small intestine. They're going to be taking the nutrition, they're going to be passing it through the gut lining, and a healthy gut lining, a healthy small intestine, it's called tight junctions. So if you think of the lining of your small intestine like a brick wall, you should have really good mortar there, right? Because you want the good stuff to go through the body to nourish the body, and then you want to use the nutrients, and then you're going to use through fiber. Through using, your insoluble fiber, you're going to process out the waste and the toxins, but also through, soluble and insoluble fiber, you should be eliminating 2.2 pounds of waste every single day. That's what the studies show because of the toxicity of the world. And so that's where fiber comes into play to help bulk us up. And like you say, we have impacted fecal matter, and we need to use it like a toothbrush of sorts to the colon. And so if we have clean inner skin, we have clean and clear outer skin. And so then you said basically, how does the microbiome impact immunity was the second part of that question.
Yes,
Is
that's
that right,
right.
James?
Yeah, well answered. I mean, that was so a great quick rundown on the digestive system. And, when you spoke to fecal matter, I want to come back to that point later with something David Wolf mentioned to me in 2007. I'll never forget what he said, but remind me if I forget. But first of all, let's go to the second part of this question, which is how the microbiome is linked to overall immunity. So you spoke about how how important it is for absorbing nutrients. But let's talk about immunity, because this is a big discussion. People are scared about their immunity because they're constantly either being sick, or they're suffering from more chronic conditions, or they're scared of a viral condition. And the gut plays a critical role in this. I know that many doctors have spoken out about the central role that the gut plays in immunity. How is our microbiome linked to our overall immunity?
I mean, I'm gonna go so far as to say it's everything. And so I want to define the microbiome as the collective set of microbes living in a specific community, right? So we're talking about bacteria, bacteriophage, fungi, yeast, parasites, protozoa, metals, viruses, you name it. It's that collective genetic material. And we should have 80% symbiotic, which means they contribute to good health, and 80 to 85, and then 10 to 15 pathogenic. It's like going to the gym. It keeps us strong. It keeps our immune system educated and alert of what to let out, what to kick out, right? We cannot sterilize. Okay, I've been saying this way before COVID. Our Food and Drug Administration has had this well over 100-year war on all bacteria, sterilizing and killing it. You lose all your power as a human being. It is not us against the microbial kingdom. It is learning how to coexist, because we have 10 times more microbial cells than we have human cells. This is about bonding together with the microbial kingdom and training and teaching and educating the immune system what is healthy and what isn't, so that we can have beautiful symbiosis.